Why re-engineer TAG? The road to RTAG, the Transcendental Argument for God. TAG is a powerful tool within presuppositional apologetics. It argues that the very possibility of logic, morality, and knowledge presupposes the existence of God. In TAG, human reason and the laws of logic are seen as grounded in God's own unchanging nature. Since God is absolute and necessary, so too are the rational structures that reflect him. Therefore, logic is considered universally and eternally valid. However, as compelling as this framework may be, it faces several critical tensions that open the door to re-examination. This is where the re-engineered Transcendental Argument for God comes in. Not to dismiss TAG, but to refine it by addressing some of its philosophical assumptions. Here's the breakdown of the TAG position, reason for re-engineering, and the resulting RTAG. TAG position. Logic is identical with God's nature and is unchanging across all dimensions. Reason for re-engineering. This creates a false equivalence between divine logic and human cognition, reducing God's transcendence to human terms. RTAG, re-engineered result. Logic is a reflection or shadow of God's nature, dimensionally adapted to our context, not identical to God's logic. TAG position. Human logic operates universally and mirrors divine rationality exactly. Reason for re-engineering assumes a univocal relation between human and divine reason, neglecting the dimensional gap between creator and creation. RTAG, re-engineered result. Human logic is sufficient for this dimension, but not a full representation of transdimensional divine logic. TAG position. Certainty in logic and senses is grounded in God's immutable nature. Reason for re-engineering promotes an epistemic absolutism that risks dismissing mystery, humility, and human finitude. RTAG, re-engineered result, emphasizes epistemic humility. Faith in God's design provides sufficient knowledge, not exhaustive certainty. TAG position. Knowledge and rationality must be grounded in universal, objective logic. Reason for re-engineering ignores how biblical revelation shows God equips creatures within their purposeful limits. RTAG, re-engineered result. Knowledge is covenantally grounded. Faculties are reliable because God designed them for our vocational task. TAG position. Without God, you cannot know anything with certainty. Reason for re-engineering creates a binary between absolute certainty and skepticism, neglecting the role of trust in biblical faith. RTAG, re-engineered result, shifts from certainty to faithful sufficiency. We know enough to function and fulfill God's intent in this dimension. In conclusion, RTAG does not throw out the insights of TAG. It re-engineers them to better reflect the creator-creature distinction, the dimensional limitations of human cognition, and the biblical posture of humility and faith. In doing so, RTAG maintains the core insight of TAG, that knowledge points back to God, but reframes it in a way that safeguards divine transcendence, human limitation, and covenantal trust. Want to go deeper? This is just a glimpse of the ideas in my upcoming ebook, Re-engineered Transcendental Argument for God, where classical apologetics meets dimensional logics and modern analogies. Follow me for updates, insights, and previews from the book. Let's rethink the foundations of reason, one layer at a time.